How goes the family? Welcome back to Patterson Properties. Hopefully you guys are having great and exceptional. Now, I know that there has been a lot of controversy about Airbnbs recently regarding safety, efficiency, and local government regulation when it comes down to Airbnbs. But in today's world, regardless of the situation of the current rumors or the situation that Airbnb still is a cash flow business for lots and lots of people, not only around the United States, but definitely around the entire world. I've never had an issue with Airbnb, and whenever I did have an issue, the hosts were always great. And so this is not the same thing bad about Airbnb, but a lot of times people will, buy or have a short-term rental in a quote-unquote bad area, but the short-term rental looks brand new. But when it comes to the customers, you have to do your research, So that's just, heck, even like the last hotel I stayed at in Houston, it was a crapshoot. It was next to the hotel. But, the clientele that was at the hotel wasn't the best. Not so much, but I digress. So, this couple that you see right here, Zev and Melissa Forrest, who are based out of good old El Segundo, California, which is right next door, which is basically in Inglewood, which is right next door to LAX Airport, International Airport. They run several Airbnb superhost businesses throughout the SoCal area. The article stated that they figured out how to run a team and handle customer service, and they've learned a lot. They learned a lot about not only short-term rentals, but also the business side of things, like forming the LLC and bookkeeping. Their total earnings for 2021 included direct bookings were about $400,000, and their total profit was about $183,000. They make an average of about $35,000 in gross revenue a month, and have 10 properties all in Southern California. They stated, and I quote, "We own 2 of them and sublease 8 of them via the rental arbitrage model, a business model that focuses on leveraging other people's properties through sublease agreements and renting these properties on platforms like Airbnb, WEBULL, or HomeAway." And before I go forward, I think these rental arbitrages are great because the beautiful thing, and this is the sad thing about regulation happening in certain parts of the United States, but I'm sure it's because the hotel lobbyists are lobbying the state legislatures and the local government, saying, hey, the Airbnb short-term leases are messing with our economic bottom line. So we pay you guys to be in office, whether it's Democrat or Republican, and we need you guys to ensure that the regulation and legislation go in our favor and not the little people. But I digress. And but at the end of the day, because I remember when I learned about this model back in 2020 or 2021 during the pandemic, this one young lady became a millionaire in Atlanta because she had a bunch of short-term lease rentals in the city of Atlanta. And she made a statement at the time that I did not even realize. She's like, as long as you let the people who own the property know that this is the purpose of you renting this place is so that you can utilize it as an Airbnb service, it shouldn't, when you have it in writing, it should be an issue. If you have it in writing, it should be an issue. But another thing to take into consideration is that there's no cap on how many rentals one can have. Now, there's a cap on how many home loans one can get. But there's not a cap on how many rentals, as long as your credit is right, and as long as you got the money for the first and last month's rent and security deposit and all that great stuff, then most places don't have a problem renting to you. So this is why the Airbnb models works for the right people. And obviously the right location all at the same time. But it is what it is. All right. Article says the rental arbitrage hosts rent properties from the long-term rental market, and we sell them on the short-term marketplace. And before I go on, family, remember that there are so many ways people can benefit from short-term to long-term rentals, especially in a place like California where a multitude of celebrities come and go. People come for vacations. I myself utilize Airbnb in LA and specifically in Inglewood because I like to be close to the airport. The article also stated that they were these 2 individuals are both real estate agents working 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. They attended a free workshop to see how renting worked and started applying what they learned from his mother's 1-bedroom, 1-bathroom property. And this is literally what you're seeing right here behind me is literally what they call a power couple. So they make money off of their commissions in regards to selling real estate properties. And I'm sure in California, those real estate commissions are phenomenal. Can be up to probably $300,000 depending on the property because it's so expensive. And then they have the short-term rentals and they make a profit from that all at the same time. Money moves, multiple streams of income. It's a beautiful thing. All right. His mother, the gentleman, Zev, had a long-term tenant in an accessory dwelling unit in her home. And they persuaded her to turn it into an Airbnb as she really needed more income. Once she made the switch, she started collecting at least twice the rent she was collecting from her long-term tenant. She was cleaning the unit as well, so she was able to collect that extra income that renters paid her too. After helping his mom manage her property and getting some experience through that, they decided as a couple to purchase their first single-family home in April 2018, which is a good time to buy. They created 2 Airbnbs out of the first, even in California. Airbnbs out of the first property. They made an attached studio accessory dwelling unit with private entrances on the side of the home, with the main part of the home serving as other listing. They went through various motions of hiring the right people from a customer service standpoint, screening customers, having the right insurance, cleaning teams, purchasing furniture, etc., and so forth. The article ended on this note stating that the previous approach affected the guest experience, whether in the communication or the cleanliness of the home. Now that they have experience, they know how to hire, train the right people who will represent their brand and elevate their guest experience all at the same time. So to great super hosts that are about doing great business and ensuring that their clientele are safe and have a great experience, more power to them. And obviously to the ones that don't, they'll be flushed out either way, because remember, it's a contract that you have with these specific organizations. All right, so it's interesting. And if you have stayed at Airbnb, let me know in the comment section. If you want to become a person who's working in the Airbnb world and make some money off of it, let me know. Or just let me know if you're a host on any level and give me a good or bad experiences that you've had with customers. Patterson Our Properties. We wholesale real estate in the DMV area, in the Philadelphia, Reading, Harrisburg, Lebanon, Pennsylvania area, all within that triangle. So check us out. Links in the description. Here's our phone number and email address, and go from there. Don't forget, if you're a stock market investor, crypto investor, individual retirement account investor, don't forget to check out WEBULL Stash acornscrypto.com. All those platforms you'll be able to make some money move, so don't forget to check us out. On that note, remember, you can't get fired if you own the company. Zev and Melissa actually own something, a multitude of things, and they're not worried about getting fired. So as I always say, make money moves, or you're going to live broke like a fool. Take care.